Welcome back. Today we're diving into another exploration within A Course in Miracles in Practice.
Our aim, as always, is to pull out that core wisdom from the Course.
Right, and see how it actually lands in your life, in your experience.
Today we're looking closely at Lesson 182. It's titled, I Will Be Still an Instant and Go Home. And this lesson, it gets right to the heart of a feeling I think many of us share.
That kind of longing, that quiet sense that maybe something's missing or we're searching.
A call to return somewhere. And we'll actually pose a practical question to you at the end about how you find ways to go home in the middle of your busy day. We'd genuinely love to hear from you on that.
Our email is acim@theworldharmonyproject.org.
And we're also on TikTok and YouTube. Just search for @The World Harmony Project.
Right.
Let's hear the lesson now in its full text.
Okay. Lesson 182. I will be still an instant and go home. This world you seem to live in is not home to you. And somewhere in your mind you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you, as if there were a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, or what it is the voice reminds you of. Yet still you feel an alien here, from somewhere all unknown. Nothing so definite that you could say with certainty you are in exile here. Just a persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. No one but knows whereof we speak. Yet some try to put by their suffering in games they play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize their tears at all. Still others will maintain that what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than but a dream. Yet who, in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self-deception, would deny he understands the words we speak? We speak today for everyone who walks this world, for he is not at home. He goes uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what he cannot find, not recognizing what it is he seeks. 1,000 homes he makes, yet none contents his restless mind. He does not understand he builds in vain. The home he seeks cannot be made by him. There is no substitute for heaven. All he ever made was hell. Perhaps you think it is your childhood home that you would find again. The childhood of your body and its place of shelter are a memory now distorted that you merely hold a picture of a past that never happened. Yet there is a child in you who seeks his father's house and knows that he is alien here. This childhood is eternal, with an innocence that will endure forever. Where this child shall go is holy ground. It is his holiness that lights up heaven, and that brings to earth the pure reflection of the light above, wherein are earth and heaven joined as one. It is this child in you your father knows as his own son. It is this child who knows his father. He desires to go home deeply, unceasingly. His voice cries unto you to let him rest a while. He does not ask for more than just a few instants of respite, just an interval in which he can return to breathe again the holy air that fills his father's house. You are his home as well. He will return. But give him just a little time to be himself within the peace that is his home, resting in silence and in peace and love. This child needs your protection. He is far from home. He is little that he seems easily shut out, his tiny voice readily obscured, his call for help almost unheard amid the grating sounds and harsh and rasping noises of the world. Yet does he know that in you still abides his sure protection. You will fail him not. He will go home, and you along with him. This child is your defenselessness, your strength. He trusts in you. He came because he knew you would not fail. He whispers of his home unceasingly to you, for he would bring you back with him, that he himself might stay and not return again where he does not belong, and where he lives an outcast in a world of alien thoughts. His patience has no limits. He will wait until you hear his gentle voice within you, calling you to let him go in peace, along with you, to where he is at home, and you with him. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then will you hear his voice. Poignantly, he calls to you that you will not resist him longer. In that instant, he will take you to his home, and you will stay with him in perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. Rest with him frequently today, for he was willing to become a little child that you might learn of him. How strong is he who comes without defenses, offering only love's messages to those who think he is their enemy. He holds the might of heaven in his hand and calls them friend, and gives his strength to them, that they may see he would be friend to them. He asks that they protect him, for his home is far away, and he will not return to it alone. Christ is reborn as but a little child, each time a wanderer would leave his home. For he must learn that what he would protect is but this child, who comes defenseless and who is protected by defenselessness. Go home with him from time to time today. You are as much an alien here as he. Take time today to lay aside your shield, which profits nothing, and lay down the spear and sword you raised against an enemy without existence. Christ has called you friend and brother. He's even come to ask your help in letting him go home today, completed and completely. He has come as does little child, who must beseech his father for protection and for love. He rules the universe, and yet he asks unceasingly that you return with him, and take illusions as your gods no more. You have not lost your innocence. It is for this you yearn. This is your heart's desire. This is the voice you hear, and this the call which cannot be denied. The Holy Child remains with you. His home is yours. Today he gives you his defenselessness, and you accept it in exchange for all the toys of battle you have made. And now the way is open, and the journey has an end in sight at last. Be still an instant and go home with him, and be at peace a while.
Just hearing it, those core insights of the lesson are right there.
They are. First, there's that clear identification of the feeling itself, that persistent, sometimes just a tiny throb of being an outsider here, something missing.
Right, and that directly leads to the second point. All are running around trying to build a permanent home in this world. It just can't satisfy that deep longing. We're essentially looking in the wrong place, using the wrong materials.
Searching for permanence where it can't be found. And third, it introduces this idea of the child, that innocent, eternal part of us. The part that does remember.
The part that never left home, in a sense. And it's quietly calling us back.
Which brings us to the fourth insight. This child. It represents our real strength, which the Course links to defenselessness. It needs our attention, our protection almost.
Not protection from harm, but protection from being drowned out by the ego's noise.
Exactly. Giving it space. And finally, the lesson clearly points to the how. The practice of stillness. Just an instant. That's the key to hearing that quieter voice above all the chatter.
That's the doorway. Let's maybe unpack these points a bit more, starting with that feeling it describes, that spiritual homesickness.
Yes. It's distinct from just being sad or, clinically depressed. It's more fundamental, like a background hum beneath everything, even when life is going okay.
It points to our basic relationship with this reality, like remembering a dream you can't quite grasp. The Course would say that feeling is natural because this isn't our natural state.
Right. It connects directly to the idea the world is illusion.
Precisely. If we're eternal beings, as the Course teaches, then trying to find ultimate satisfaction and peace solely within a temporary, shifting world, it's like, well, the analogy might be like trying to breathe underwater. You're just not designed for that environment permanently.
So you'll always feel a bit suffocated or ill at ease.
There's always that underlying tension, that sense of something not quite right.
And that image of building 1,000 homes, wow. It captures the futility so well. Every project, every relationship, every achievement we think will finally be it.
The one that makes us feel complete, settled.
Yes. And the Course says these are attempts to recreate heaven, essentially, but we're using the materials of illusion, of hell. So they inevitably fall short.
It explains so much frustration, doesn't it? Why nothing external ever truly, finally satisfies that deepest core longing.
There's something almost tragic about how hard we try, though,
Yeah.
Putting so much effort into building on what the lesson implies is quicksand.
We invest so much energy, so much hope into structures that just can't hold the weight of that eternal desire.
And the distinction the lesson makes between nostalgia, like remembering your childhood home, and this eternal child, this innocence that's always present, that's crucial.
Very crucial. It's not about going back to being a literal child.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not about striving to become pure again. The lesson suggests this child, this innocent nature, is what you are right now. It's just covered up, hidden beneath layers of identity we've adopted.
This child is really a core concept, isn't it? In the Course, it's synonymous with the Son of God, our created identity.
Our true self.
Yes. The part of us that remains connected to our source, untouched by the dream of separation. Its holiness, its innocence, it's always there, even if we're completely unaware of it, lost in the world's illusions.
It's quite a shift from thinking we're flawed beings trying to get back to perfection.
A complete reversal, really.
Instead, it's saying that perfection is inherent. It's like we're actors who've gotten so lost in our roles, maybe wearing these elaborate costumes, that we've forgotten our real face underneath. Forgotten we're already the beloved child of the director, you could say.
That's a great analogy. And connected to this is the idea of vulnerability or defenselessness as true strength.
That always feels paradoxical at first.
It does, because the world teaches the opposite. Build walls, protect yourself. But the Course argues those defenses actually keep us imprisoned. They block our awareness of the self that cannot be hurt.
The child is strong because it's undefended.
Exactly. Its strength lies in its connection to reality, to love, which needs no defense. When you know, truly know, you are invulnerable in your essence, you don't need walls.
It reminds me of how Jesus is often portrayed in the Course readings. Completely open, non-attacking.
Radiating strength through that very openness.
Yes. And when you're not spending energy on defense, all that energy is free for love, for connection, for creation.
It's a totally different way of moving through the world. And then there's the patience of the child.
Ah, yes. Contrasted with our ego's impatience.
Right. The ego wants results now. Big shifts, dramatic proofs. The child, this lesson suggests, just waits. Quietly, persistently. Its call is constant but gentle.
It doesn't force the night away. It just arrives.
It inevitably unfolds. That patience is powerful because it doesn't engage in conflict. Resistance needs something to push against.
And the child offers nothing to push against. So resistance just dissolves eventually.
That's the idea. It melts away in the presence of that quiet, unwavering love.
Which brings us back to the practice. Stillness.
It's about noticing what's already here when the mental noise quiets down for even an instant.
Like those moments when you're lost in nature or music or just fully present with someone.
Those times when the inner commentary, the judging and planning just stops. What do you feel then?
Peace. A sense of...
okayness.
Right. A peace that wasn't caused by the external situation but was simply revealed when the internal static stopped. Those aren't just lucky moments or random breaks. They're actually glimpses of our natural state.
That's what the lesson suggests. They're reminders of home.
For me, one of the most moving parts of this is how it reframes the whole journey.
How so?
Well, instead of being this lost wanderer desperately trying to find my way back...
Which can feel exhausting and hopeless sometimes.
Right. Instead, I'm reframed as the guardian, the protector of something incredibly precious and divine already within me.
That shift from seeking to nurturing.
Yes. It changes everything. It moves from frantic searching to creating the conditions for this inner presence, this child, to be felt and heard. It's the difference between chasing a butterfly and sitting still until it lands on you.
Beautifully put. It replaces striving with allowing. And the call to lay down weapons.
Put down the spear and sword, as the lesson says.
Recognizing that the enemy we're constantly bracing against, it doesn't actually exist. It's a projection of our own fear.
Our defenses are against ghosts.
Essentially, yes. Against illusions spun by the ego. Our true self, the child, needs no defense because it's beyond threat. It's part of God.
And the emphasis on brief moments. Be still an instant. Rest with him frequently today. It makes it feel achievable.
It's not demanding hours of meditation. It's suggesting that home, that peace, is literally just one conscious still moment away, anytime.
Like a secret door you can access throughout the day just by pausing and shifting attention inward?
Exactly. And perhaps the greatest irony is that our frantic searching for home is often what keeps us from recognizing we're already standing on the threshold.
The child isn't lost. It's just waiting for us to stop running and listen.
Just be still. And remember.
Now, like any deep teaching, people can sometimes misunderstand or misapply this lesson. Let's touch on a few common pitfalls.
Good idea. One big one is thinking Lesson 182 promotes a kind of detachment or withdrawal from the world. Like you should just float above it all.
Ignoring responsibilities, relationships.
Right. But that's not it at all. It's about finding stillness within your life, whatever it looks like. The child wants to transform how you see the world and interact in it, not escape it. Peace is an internal shift, not an external relocation.
Another one is spiritual perfectionism. Beating yourself up because you're not constantly feeling that child consciousness.
Oh, definitely. Judging yourself for getting caught up in ego thoughts or dramas. But the lesson stresses the child's infinite patience. It's not grading you. It's just always there, waiting kindly.
There's also the risk of romanticizing childhood, confusing the childlike innocence the lesson speaks of with being childish.
Yes, the eternal child isn't about being naive or irresponsible. Its innocence is about clarity of perception, seeing beyond fear and guilt. That's very different from the dependencies or lack of awareness of actual childhood.
And sometimes people turn the stillness practice into another technique to master, another thing to strive for.
Exactly. Sitting there trying really hard to make peace happen, which paradoxically creates tension and pushes peace away. It's about allowing, not forcing, noticing what's already present beneath the effort.
Perhaps the biggest misperception, though.
I think it's seeing this child as some separate, inner child in the psychological sense, something wounded, fragmented that needs healing or integrating.
Ah, right, as if it's another part of the ego structure.
Yes, but the Course is clear. This child represents your fundamental nature, your whole, complete, undamaged self. It was never actually hurt by anything that happened in the dream. It is the healing.
Okay, so recognizing those pitfalls helps. Let's circle back to the practical application. How do we actually go home, as the lesson suggests?
Well, the first step is acknowledging the premise. This world, this realm of form, isn't our ultimate home. We didn't make it, and it can't substitute for heaven for that perfect union with our source. Accepting that fundamentally shifts where you look for peace. Step 2 is embracing stillness. Be still an instant. That's the core instruction. In that pause, the restless thoughts and valueless ideas, the ego's chatter naturally start to recede.
Creating space.
Creating space to tune in to something else. Which leads to step 3, listening for that gentle voice within, the voice of the inner child. It's the symbol of our innocence, our connection. It's always calling us to peace. Stillness allows us to hear it.
And the fourth step seems to be resting in that peace frequently. Not just finding it once, but returning to it.
Yes, the lesson says rest with him frequently today. Even tiny moments count. Those instants where you touch that perfect stillness, silent and at peace, beyond all words, sublimely certain that you are at home. Those moments recharge you, reorient you.
Anchoring yourself back in that reality.
And the final step, really underpinning it all, is dropping defenses and choosing love. Remembering the child represents defenselessness as strength.
So choosing to approach situations and people without our usual armor on.
Exactly. Come without defenses, offering only love's messages. That act aligns you with the child's strength, with the truth of who you are, and smooths the path home.
So putting it all together, going home isn't a physical move. It's an ongoing inner practice. Quieting the noise, listening deeply, resting in the peace that's revealed, and choosing openness over fear.
That captures it perfectly. It's a return to the awareness of our inherent oneness with God, with love itself.
Well, this has been a really insightful exploration of such a profound lesson.
It really digs deep, doesn't it?
It does. Lesson 182 truly reminds us that the ache we feel, that deep longing, it's not really for a person or a place or an achievement out there. It's for connection with our own true nature.
That innocent, eternal self that knows it belongs to something vast and loving.
And the practice isn't about escaping life, but about finding these moments of return within life, remembering who we are beneath the daily roles and stories.
And realizing that protecting and listening to that quiet child within us, that's where our real power lies. Not in building walls, but in our capacity for openness, for love.
Which leads us to our question for you, the listener. The lesson invites us to reconnect or go home frequently. How does that actually play out for you? When you're busy, maybe parenting, dealing with work, with colleagues, classmates, how do you find those instants of stillness? Was it doable for you?
We're genuinely curious about your experiences and any insights you gained trying this.
Please do share them with us. You can send your thoughts to ACIM@theworldharmonyproject.org or find us on TikTok and YouTube. Just search for @theworldharmonyproject. We'll gather some of your responses and share them in a future discussion.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey today. And just remember, home is always just one instant of stillness away.